Welcome back to The Lineup, the show where we pick timeless topics to discuss. We don't at all ever succumb to the temptation of clickbait. So this topic is India's greatest limited over captains. It has nothing to do with anything. It's not because a certain person who might be in this list just was removed as captain or has ended his stint as captain. It's a timeless topic, but we're going to discuss it anyway. I've got Suds, Yash, George, and I'm Dustin. And unfortunately today, whoever was in charge of printing out the stickers that we normally have for this show has forgotten to do their job.
Why don't you inform our viewers who?
Wasn't me.
So we'll just be writing the names, and then through the magic of modern technology, our producers will let you know how we've ranked all of them, and it'll look nice in the final video. Okay? It's okay to yeah, na? Anyway, let's start with a big name. Let's start.
Can we first start with the disclaimer?
Oh yes. We are only ranking captains who have had 30 or more matches in limited over games. So this is ODIs and T20s.
Which also has nothing to do with the fact that Surya Kumar Yadav is presently on 29 matches as we record this.
So it's also important in our minds to divide their test captaincy from their limited overs captaincy.
Forget test cricket for these 20 minutes.
This is only limited over captaincy, and let's start with ranking Virat Kohli, or let's at least decide the tier that he'll fall into. Okay, Virat Kohli. Does anybody here have him in their top 3?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
One of the youngest people in the group.
What are your reasons for Kohli being in the top 3?
Oh, wow, I didn't expect Kohli to be our first discussion, but
So as captain, talking about his batting.
captaincy, but in my list, he's number 1. I know as a 7 July, I'm letting MS Dhoni down there, but my reasons are, yes, it's not won tournaments, etc. That is secondary, but the fact that he led India while not letting it affect his game and in fact enhanced his game, that is a big weightage for me.
Kohli had strong qualities for a captain. You might not, be polarized in terms of the way he led the team, but he at least had clarity of vision and the way he wanted to play, and he inspired some of his teammates. He dragged some of his teammates along, and some of his teammates who didn't, fit in with his vision fell away during his tenure. But yeah, I wouldn't have him at 1, 2, or 3. I'd have him in that second tier there.
He had 95 matches in ODIs as captain. I think a win-loss record of 2.4, which is very healthy.
68%, yeah.
And then in T20Is, it is 50 matches with a win-loss record of 1.875. So fairly strong in both. Of course, the big events were 2017 Champions Trophy, where, to be fair, India got all the way to the final and just didn't make it in that one match. You could make a similar argument about the next World Cup, where they played really good cricket, topped the league stage, but then failed in the semi-final.
While you say that his thought process and the clarity, it existed a lot, but somehow it came to hurt India in some of these big competitions.
In the 2019 World Cup especially.
2019 World Cup, while there is one part which should have all the sympathy for India for the conditions that turned on their head in the semi-final against New Zealand. But yes, you cannot forget the fact that India somehow managed to build a World Cup squad which had Rishabh Pant and Dinesh Karthik batting 4 and 5 in an ODI World Cup semi-final.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shambles.
But was that as much Kohli as the selectors or team management?
It was also, at least the early part of Kohli's captaincy years are also the years where there was no real BCCI as such. So I don't know whether there's been a period where a captain has had as much autonomy. 2018, I think, is an outlier because in a 12 to 15 month span, India have thrashed New Zealand in New Zealand, thrashed South Africa in South Africa, won an ODI series in Australia. In about 15 months, the only series that they lost was an ODI series in England.
Yeah, but you'll find that India's bilateral series records over the years recently have been very, very good.
Even by those standards, India have never had, considering all of them were Sena series, and they lost only one. And that year somehow happened to be a year that didn't have a single ICC white ball event. I mean, England, so much of them winning 2019 was about the momentum they'd built. And India didn't get to play a World Cup in a year where they were that good.
To a certain extent also what happened is, I remember that I think the peak of Kohli's captaincy was that South Africa series where they won 4-1 or 5-1?
5-1.
And that was when they unveiled Chahal and Kuldeep. And maybe by the time the 2019 World Cup came around, they had exposed them too much already.
So even though you said that maybe some of the squad selections we might not entirely put on Kohli, Kuldeep and Chahal collectively had one bad outing, India versus England. Yeah. No, India versus England. And India decided to completely shelve the theory that had won them the game. So that's why Kohli can't make it to the top 3 for me.
Okay, so let's put him somewhere. Let's put him at 4 for now, and then then we can shift him around, because I think the only reason it's tough to get him in the top 3 is he didn't win that major big trophy. We have guys coming up who have won World Cups in either format. Let's go to the next one, because I think this is going to be an interesting discussion. Ganguly. Okay, Ganguly ahead of Kohli or behind Kohli. Now, Ganguly's win-loss record is not going to look as great, because it's in a totally different era where India weren't as much of a winning side, but his big achievements were taking India to the final of the 2003 World Cup, and then that NatWest trophy, which is of course very memorable, as long as some other good performance.
2 other finals as well, the ICC Knockout 2000 and the Champions Trophy 2002.
Yeah.
So, George, where do you have Ganguly? Below Kohli, above Kohli?
I'd put him at 5. Just below. So now the thing with Ganguly is, when you remember his captaincy...
No one's taking their shirt off for this part.
When you remember his captaincy...
Don't think we have the body for that.
You know, the picture painted about Ganguly's captaincy is he made India, transformed India into a competitive fighting team away from home. You know, and a lot of that is down to Test cricket, which we are not regarding for the purposes of this discussion. Decent bilateral ICC tournament results under his captaincy. And yeah, from the time he took over when India were really, really struggling. Due to, results and, the whole match fixing controversy had just exploded in Indian cricket. So he took India from a really dark place and, had really promising results in those 5 years.
I'll just make one argument for Ganguly being ahead of Kohli, okay? Because I actually would have him ahead, because I think Ganguly leading India to that final of the 2003 ODI World Cup is really underrated. Like I was about 17, 18 at that time, and I can remember India were not considered strong contenders for that World Cup, particularly given that it was being played in South Africa. It was
just been blown away in New Zealand.
Yeah, and it was all about, okay, it's going to be Australia, South Africa, maybe Pakistan even, who had a very strong pace bowling attack. And Ganguly really galvanized that side. He was the one tactically, he had Dravid as keeper, which he asked him to do to extend the batting lineup. I think it was Dinesh Mongia, right, at number 7. And I remember those huddles that he used to have. He used to get the team together after every wicket. It was something new for an Indian fan to be watching a captain doing that.
And it was his team with Zahir,
Nehra,
Yuvraj, all the guys that he had nurtured and developed, and
Just one, what will surely be an unpopular opinion about the 2003 World Cup. Some of the decisions taken by some of the other teams may have helped India's cause. Because the way that World Cup played out, with some teams boycotting
games, and Kenya reached the semi-final.
India eventually played their last Super Six.
But India only lost to Australia in the leagues. Also, are we giving Ganguly plus marks or minus marks for the whole Greg Chappell episode here?
Also,
you haven't spoken about Ganguly. You answered that.
So had Kohli at 1, so I'm guessing Ganguly below Kohli.
But all these reasons that you all gave I will put him ahead of Kohli if Kohli is 4th for us. Given that all you said,
because also taught India to win. The confidence of the guy. You were saying that we don't have the bodies to take our shirt off. Neither did Ganguly, but he still did.
So the question is, are you going to put him above Kohli at 3?
I would, but at 4. No, I would have Ganguly at 4 and Kohli at 5, but I think I'm outvoted.
My last point on Ganguly which is why I have him behind Kohli. India's win-loss against the 5 best teams of the time, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, was less than 40%. So India started doing well, yes. But India were doing better in comparison to the version of India that scarred us through the 90s.
True, but the way he built the careers of Yuvraj and Kaif and Zahir. Anyway, let's put him at 5, but I just wanted to make that case for Ganguly. I would have had him at 4, but it's okay. I mean, I also am a big fan of Kohli, so it's okay. Okay, let's go to some of the other guys who maybe will fall in okay, let's all decide who's in the top 3. I'm guessing, and we can decide the order later, but given that we have Kohli 4, Ganguly 5, are we all in agreement that basically it's going to be in any order, Kapil Dev, Dhoni and Rohit Sharma in the top 3.
The captains who won the ICC
Who
trophy.
won trophies. So we'll come to the ranking of them later. Let's go through the others. Some of the other names, we have Rahul Dravid, who unfortunately didn't have any, I mean, he had the one World Cup wasn't great for him, 2007, yeah. So we have Dravid, Gavaskar, Azharuddin and Tendulkar. Who would be the highest for you among those 4?
Dravid.
George, we had a 30-minute drive on the way from the other office for you to think about this. Yeah. So, Zod, you
I might go with Dravid as well.
Yeah. With Dravid, why Dravid? At 6.
So, again, he was a captain for a short period of time. Took over at a very tumultuous time again in Indian cricket after the Ganguly, Greg Chappell.
In fact, almost oversaw India during a tumultuous
time. And it was a
really great test captain.
It was a really bitter, acrimonious time in Indian cricket. Smoothened over all that. India used to be a deplorable chasing team. You know, you scored 250 against India and the game was almost as good as won. Dravid changed that during his captaincy. The blemish is that, yes, that 2007 World Cup in the West Indies was a disaster. But
to be fair, it was 2 games.
Yeah, basically. It was 2 games. And then,
what George points out to me is so valid for a lot of Indian cricket, even after Dravid's captaincy stint ended, because a team that couldn't chase decided we will chase in every bilateral game we play. India went on a record spree. I think 17
wins in a row.
Consecutive wins while chasing. And you cut to 2011, which will again feature shortly in the conversation, and India's 3 knockout games, 2 of them, Australia and the final against Sri Lanka, you chased totals above 250, which were unthinkable for India. And the batters who did that were the ones who started learning how to do that in that 2-year span where Dravid was captain. When Yuvraj, Dhoni, Raina became India's axis.
Engine room.
And I think just for that, Dravid is ahead of those, is the top one among those.
I'll make the case for Azhar, okay? First of all, Azhar had his collar up, which is just cool. I mean, come on.
Azhar also captain for a huge
but almost the entire
So I'm just going to be nostalgic here, and I'll say that like some of my favorite cricketing memories are that 98 Coca-Cola Cup, which Azhar was captain for. Now, and I know you'll say, well, maybe that wasn't Azhar, but
tell me your memory of Azhar in that Coca-Cola Cup.
No, maybe he didn't. No, I'll tell you what Azhar did. I'll tell you what he did. During that 98 Coca-Cola Cup, who was India's number 3? Tell me. It was Nayan Mongia, pinch hitter at number 3.
Yeah,
Azhar's
pinch
idea.
hitters had been in existence.
Because of Azhar had people like Srinath coming in at number 3. He had all these innovative ideas.
You're bringing back these memories of the 90s where India would just lose.
India won the Independence Cup under Azhar, which was another great chase. They chased 315.
Which was a tri-series with India, Pakistan and
Bangladesh, but it was against Saeed Anwar and Pakistan, like a great Pakistan team. Azhar, I remember there were games where India would be 4 down and him and Jadeja and him and Robin Singh would chase. From like
India wouldn't win those games.
Yeah,
they would come close.
India wouldn't win those games.
Very different memory of the period.
Yeah,
they would come close.
So let me,
and 96, 99 World Cups were not too bad under Azhar. He didn't have
99 World Cup, I'm sorry. What did India do with the 99?
They reached the Super Sixes and beat Pakistan in the Super Six.
Lost to Zimbabwe, the one match that Tendulkar
Sachin was not well.
Exactly.
Sorry, he had to go back.
Exactly. So if Sachin is missing, Azhar's captain.
Henry Olanga was a very good bowler.
No, so the entire period of the 90s, right? Like under Azhar's captaincy, and like we were all very young then, boil it down to Sachin or nothing.
No, there was Jadeja, Robin Singh, Azhar himself.
Justin's argument seems that India has beaten Pakistan, so Azhar's great kind of a thing. But my point is like the captains we are ranking in the whatever we've ranked so far, and even arguing for Dravid at 6, all of them have left a trait that the Indian team still sees. Chasing or playing all rounders or like.
Ended with.
Let's not go into what Azhar left.
Can I get Gavaskar at 6 because he won the World Championship of Cricket in '85, which my grandfather always told me, and my father was even better than winning the '83 World Cup because it was like so competitive.
To get an accurate gauge, and I genuinely mean this, for me to accurately decide where Gavaskar goes in this, I want any of you who've covered that part of India's history well enough to explain just how what was going on? Like, how
You had
did India,
Shivarama Krishnan-
did India toss a coin to decide whether Kapil is captain or Gavaskar is
I
captain?
think there were a lot of issues with the board and everything, and
Because 1983 Kapil Dev wins the World Cup. By the end of 83, Kapil Dev is no longer captain.
Yeah.
1985 March, Gavaskar wins the World Championship of Cricket. By the end of that month, Gavaskar is not captain.
I don't know. Okay, let's just put Dravid at 6. And then what do you all want?
You're convinced already.
I mean, I all three of you all said Dravid, so I mean, I just made the case for Azhar because I love those backhanded flicks.
So then Dravid and then Gavaskar.
You're putting Gavaskar ahead of Azhar? Okay, fine. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so Gavaskar, Azhar, and Tendulkar last just because this is purely as captain, so I think he himself kind of admitted he never took to captaincy. Now let's get into the fun
Is
part.
Tendulkar last?
Hey, come on, Azhar captain in 174 games, man. Come on.
Because
You can't put
Sachin
him
didn't want to
last.
captain.
You can't put, I would have put Azhar at 6, but anyway. I think Sambit would agree with me if I was here. Now the top 3, okay? So the top 3 we have are Rohit Sharma, MS Dhoni or Kapil Dev. Let me just start with an open-ended one. George, who is, should we start with number 3 or number 1? What's more exciting for the people watching? Let's start with number 3. Who's the worst of all those? What a way to frame it.
What a way to frame it. Yeah.
Number 3, I'm going to go with Kapil Dev.
Okay. The man who built Indian cricket, the father of Indian cricket.
Inspirational captain in that 1983 World Cup. He's above all the other 6. He was responsible for India winning the tournament that made Indian cricket what it is right now. And during that tournament, he's had amazing individual performances as well.
Which we never saw, but...
Yeah, but the other 2 contenders in that category just have the greater body of work.
Please remember Krish Srikant's story that the Indian players had their tickets booked to go to the US after the World Cup.
I'm with
And
Dustin.
that's how like unthinkable it was for India to win that 83 World Cup.
No, but if you-
Did you all not grow up with those history books of Kapil Dev's pictures next to Indira Gandhi and Mahatma Gandhi?
But then if you're comparing a similar tournament, it was also fairly unthinkable for Dhoni's team to win that 2007 T20 World Cup. The team that...
But that was a new format.
It was, but you now look at the team that India took to the T20 World Cup, look at the players there, and they were all at the start of their careers, and for them to win that tournament was also tremendous.
But I feel like people from previous generations would be yelling at us. Like if Sambit was here, he would be yelling at us for suggesting Kapil Dev is anywhere lower than the top 2.
But you have to look at, okay, he won a World Cup. All the 3 people we're talking about have won at least 1 World Cup. Dhoni's won 2. Then what is the next qualifier? What else? Right?
No,
India
it's
was
not
steady.
what puts Rohit back, but it's about what pushes Kapil Dev ahead.
So that's what I'm asking.
That is the fact that there is no precedence of that happening, that event happening. It's basically starting from scratch and creating something that you could aspire for.
So
and
let's
again,
split on that.
Rohit ended a long wait, so
So
everyone
we can put
knew.
Dhoni at number 1 now.
Should we
Yeah.
just put Dhoni at number 1? Is there any argument
I mean-
against Dhoni? I also had Dhoni at 1, so we can just do Dhoni at 1.
I mean, I had Kohli over him, but
Dhoni had
He's
too
still
long a
on that.
reign, 200 matches.
yeah, correct.
200 ODIs alone with a win-loss record of 1.4. T20Is as well. He had 72
I mean,
T20Is.
there are no numbers
No
needed.
numbers.
2007 T20 World
Yeah.
Cup, 2011 ODI World Cup, 2013 Champions Trophy, and the CB series.
To captain India for more than a decade, in these 2 formats.
And by the way,
extraordinary.
I was just looking back at that CB series. Actually, Dhoni himself said that he considered that at the time a greater achievement than winning the 2007 T20 World Cup, because to win a tri-series in Australia is unprecedented. So Dhoni is number 1. Okay, so this is a few points I'll make in favor of Rohit Sharma. I don't have much to say in favor of Kapil because I just wasn't around. I just know how historic it was. Rohit for sure settled a lot of the issues you were talking about with India's middle order. He backed KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer in those spots, which was huge to India's 2023 ODI World Cup campaign where they came very close. And of course, we all know that he just revolutionized the way that they bat, led from the front.
For however long India did not win an ICC trophy since 2013, 12 years or whatever, you always felt India had a team and had a stronger team, irrespective of who was the captain. Yeah. You always felt India had a strong team. They had the goods for those conditions. It's just that something went wrong.
I think in ODIs what you're saying is correct, but in T20Is actually India were quite far
India
behind.
regressed.
2021, you could see India were not like they were not a state-of-the-art T20 team. And under Rohit, 2022 T20 World Cup, they also perhaps didn't look that way, but then they started building from that point to where now they look like just an unbeatable T20 IT.
Rohit has given a really, really strong team in both ODIs and T20s to his successor. Yeah, he didn't quite get that from Kohli, like because they were struggling in T20 formats at the time. But yeah.
But Kapil Dev had none of this. He didn't have IPL to choose players from. And
it's very hard, I know. It's very. I also agree it's hard, but I think we're going to have to. Let's take an outside one. So Ketu, Omkar, Kapil Dev or Rohit Sharma? Who would you have? Okay, everyone is saying Rohit.
So we could have just asked Omkar at the start.
No, because we're tied. So
I'll offer this as last peace offering. A tied second spot. Yeah. I still think it should be Rohit too, but
yeah, I accept the tie.
Okay, we'll do a tie. Let's give Sudh one, man. Okay, yeah, Kohli at one.
It's a cop out. It's a tie. Yeah.
It's a Rohit and Kapil tie at number 2. We have Dhoni number 1, the greatest Indian limited over captain ever. Number 2 is a tie between the OG Kapil Dev and the most recent captain Rohit Sharma. Then we've got Virat Kohli number 4, Sourav Ganguly number 5. Also really good Indian captains. Azharuddin should have been in the top 3, but he's number 8. Dravid is 6, Gavaskar 7, Azhar 8 and Tendulkar 9. So tell us what you think of this and let us know, especially on the Rohit Kapil thing. If there are people who watched that 83 World Cup, let us know why we're wrong in even debating this. Thank you for watching this episode of The Lineup.